we're gonna go ahead and start with a handheld. So we'll see how that goes. Hello and welcome to the Five Farms Celtic Cream. Wait a second, let me start that again. Hello and welcome to the Five Farms Irish Cream Celtic Kitchen. I'm all discombobulated now because I'm off like 1 minute. So we've been doing demonstrations all day today of different sorts of dishes using Irish cream. We have Five Farms Irish Cream right next to us if you want to have a taste of it when we're done. So this demonstration is going to be what I call Irish Tiramisu. Okay? So if you've ever had tiramisu before, tiramisu is an Italian dish, and it means pick me up or lift me up. So it's intended to be a nice light dessert to perk you up a little bit because it has coffee in it and has a little bit of Marsala wine in it, and it's just like a really nice little light dessert that gives you a little bit of a lift. So the way you make tiramisu is you use raw eggs and beat them up, whip them up, and you mix in a soft Italian cheese goes into that. You whip that up, and that's your filling. And I didn't want to use raw eggs here in this cooking demonstration, and I wanted to kind of Irish it up a little bit. So what I did was I'm using the Five Farms Irish Cream in place of the Marsala wine, and in place of the whipped eggs and the Italian style cheese, we are using Neufchâtel, which is, a lot of you probably know that as light cream cheese, but it's really not light cream cheese. It's a cheese in its own right. It's a soft French cheese that's been made for thousands of years, and it's marketed as light cream cheese because it's very similar. It uses less fat in the milk that's used to make that cheese is a low-fat milk, so that's why it's less calories than regular cream cheese is. And it's just a little bit milder. Somewhere a microphone, we're getting somebody's microphone. Yay, here it is, woo!
And a spare battery.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
This was our first problem in this tent. We had wonderful management this year. She just makes it happen. So today we're going to be making my Irish version of tiramisu, which uses Five Farms Irish cream, and it uses Neufchâtel as a soft cheese and whipping cream, and it still uses coffee. We're going to be using the Savoiardi Ladyfingers, which are a hard, crisp style cookie. Think biscotti, but what they are is they're a very light kind of a cookie that you would have with your coffee, and that's what goes into the body of the tiramisu. So it's not the type of ladyfinger that you probably know from the grocery store that's like a sponge cake or something like that. This is a hard, crisp cookie, and we're going to dip it in a mixture of coffee and Five Farms Irish cream as a part of the dessert. So these you can get. We have the recipe for this dish. We have some cards up here. We also have it on our website, Mary Mac Bakehouse, and we have links up here you can get to find the recipe, and a QR code that you can take a picture of, and it'll take you right to our website and the recipes. So these cookies I found at my grocery store in the specialty foods section, and my grocery store is not a big high-end grocery store, so I think you can find these. And they're good. Goya makes them, and they're good. I use, instead of espresso powder or strong coffee, I use the Nescafé Classico instant coffee because it's a dark roast instant, and it works really well, and it's a lot cheaper. So that's what I like to use. And then we're going to be using whipping cream and heavy whipping cream and the Five Farms. So here we go. Hold on, I'm going to get my cream out. Get it together. I'm working. So first, you mix up your coffee because you need to have warm water to dissolve your coffee. So you want to put it in a sort of a dish that's a rectangle that your cookies will fit into when you're soaking them. So this is 1 1/4 cups of water and 3 tablespoons of coffee. And then we're going to add to that a 1/4 cup of Irish cream. And you want to shake your Irish cream a little bit before you use it and make sure it's mixed up in there, okay? So, I'm going to put a 1/4 cup of Irish cream in there. And we're going to put that in, and then we set it aside. This is a component recipe. So what you do is you make all the components, and then when you get them done, you assemble the dish. So that's the best way to do it, the easiest way to do it. So now we have our coffee ready. Set that aside. Now we're going to start on our cream base. So first, we're going to take some good old Kerrygold butter. Try to keep this as Irish as we can. And some cream cheese that's not from Ireland, but it's from Pennsylvania, so we're got to keep it a little bit local. And let's see, we need a 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. And then 3 tablespoons of Irish cream, and I'm just going to get that ready to pour in. Okay, now we're going to beat this up to mix our butter and cream cheese together. You want to make sure your cream cheese is softened pretty well. Yeah. Or else you're going to be fighting it, and it will fight you. Okay, now we're going to add our cream and our Five Farms. Get all that good stuff out of there. And this will whip up pretty nice. It gets a nice creamy tan color to it. Okay, now we'll set this aside for a second. Now we're going to make the next part of our filling, which is 1 cup of powdered sugar. And 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. We're going to make some nice whipped cream to mix in with our Neuchâtel mixture. Now we whip that up. This will whip up just like regular old whipped cream. The nice thing about Five Farms Irish cream is you can substitute it in recipes for any sort of a liqueur or vanilla that you're using, and it just gives it such a nice rich flavor. So you can take your old recipes and make it brand new. Okay, so our whipped cream is whipped. Now we're going to fold this into our neuf mixture. Fold it over a couple of times just to begin to blend it. And then we're going to take our beaters back into it again and make sure we have a nice, fluffy, creamy mixture there. Okay, so there's our creamy part of our mixture. Now we're ready to assemble. So, I found these dishes, this is an Acre Hawking glass dish, it's 3 inches deep. It works perfect for this recipe, and it comes with a handy dandy lid. So you can make your tiramisu, put the lid on it, stick it in the refrigerator, and let me see the dimensions on this. It's a 2 3/4 quart, so I guess if you were looking it up, that's what you would look for. But it's 3 inches deep, perfect size. So, get our cookies. Okay, I'm going to wash my hands again real quick. So what you want to do here is you want to dunk your cookies long enough that they soak up some coffee, but not so long that they get soggy. So it's a little bit of a trick. You'll see some little air bubbles coming up off of them. That's about all the time they need. And they will fall apart really fast. This is a nice recipe to make the night before something. You can put this together and put it in the refrigerator. It travels really well, so it's nice to take somewhere, and it's kind of impressive actually. People really enjoy it, especially if they like tiramisu. Everybody that likes tiramisu really loves this. So, and I've had, you know, being in Western Pennsylvania, you get tiramisu any kind of way. It can be somebody use a yellow cake in it. You know what I mean? You never know what you're going to get. So, I had one time that had Hershey syrup on the top. Okay, there's our first layer. So once you have your first layer done in there, you're going to put half of your cream on top of that, okay, and level it out. So now we're going to put another layer of cookies on top of that. I always end up with one cookie left. You never get that last one in there. Now you have some coffee and Irish cream left. You can save that for another use, like heating it up and drinking it later. So that works good. Now we're going to put the rest of our cream on top. Spread that out. We're almost done. Now we're going to put some Hershey's special dark cocoa on the top. And there's our tiramisu. We actually have a sample of this. Maybe this one will be okay if it sits for a minute. This is our stunt double tiramisu that I made last night. And as you can see, the cocoa actually will pick up moisture from that cream and it'll form a topping on there. And then you can kind of see the layers into it too. So like I said, it's a nice dessert. It's easy to make, easy to take somewhere, and it's a little bit impressive, you know?